The two.
Why? Is this correct? Is this correct?
Yeah, we had to stop because, he's a wild child. I'm out there one day. He's behind me. I fall off. When I come up, his surfboard hits me in the head. I got a gash on my head. So no more surfing with me.
Oh, that's where that gas came from?
Yeah.
What?
From him. But,
Come on.
It's a West versus East contest here in the windy city of Chicago, Illinois, as the Bulls play one at home. Hi, everyone. We're happy to have you with us for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan to call the game with our analysts Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And it's Chicago to start out. Gibson's checked in for Noah. Mirotic comes in for Pau Gasol. Tony Snell's checked in for Mike Dunleavy. And Freak subbed in for Derrick Rose. The Clippers also making some changes. Mickey's checked in for Griffin. Redick comes in for Jamal Crawford. And it's Isaiah Cannon in for Paul. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Johnson out there with Mickey. Then there's Isaiah Cannon. Then there's DeAndre Jordan. And it's Redick in at the 2 guard. Now here's Howard. 11 points for him in that last game against... And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play. That sends Taj Gibson to the free throw line. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Well, I had a chance to speak with head coach Doc Rivers. He told me that he's looking forward to this matchup. Their first look at this team so far this season. He said they'll look to play up defensively. As usual, their length and shot blocking a great deterrent inside. Kevin?
Okay, thank you, Doris. And the defensive approach, guys, how do you think that'll play out here?
Sounds like they'd like to keep this a low-scoring affair. This could be one of those grind-it-out kind of games.
And I'm sure that would suit them just fine. It may not be what the fans want to see or hear, but a win is a win. Come on now. A W is a W, and that's what you're playing for.
Second shot opportunity, and Jordan sends it back. And the foul called on Freak. That's his first foul. Ronald Sloan's checked in for Jimmy Butler. And the Clippers making a change here as well. Vasquez, he's checked in for Wesley Johnson. Vasquez kicks to Jordan. And the wide open shot from Redick. Gets an open look and hits. Redick's got 9.
That's his 4th straight make right out the chute. He's setting a pretty high standard for himself here.
Just like you draw it up before you come out.
And they'll keep possession. And the officials now calling the shooting foul. He got a lot of ball on the block, but also got the body. So some free throws coming up right now. Wesley Johnson's checked in for Jordan. And both free throws good from Gibson. We've got 1:08 left in the first quarter. Here's Cannon. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. They set the pick. Here's Redick. Off the left rim and out.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted. And really, I like the movement and communication there. There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Cannon, the pass to Redick. Here's Mickey. Johnson the screen. Pass to Cannon. Beyond the arc. The shot, no good. And it's Chicago the other way. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
And in part because I just thought they came out flat in that game and could never recover. Just not their best effort.
And I thought perhaps they might get an injection of life from somebody off the bench, but that never happened either.
Over in the corner to Vasquez. 1 second left. That misses. Would have cut. You talk to Chris Paul, it's clear he was born to play the point guard position.
Fortunately, I've always been
vertically challenged. Taj Gibson's checked in for Noah. Mirotic comes in for Pau Gasol. And Freak subbed in for Mike Dunleavy. The Clippers also changing it up. Johnson comes in for DeAndre Jordan. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Vasquez. Setting the floor for the Clippers, Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. Johnson out there with Crawford. And it's Griffin in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Los Angeles has gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Rose against Paul. To the middle. And stolen by Mirotic. And here we go. The Bulls fast break. And it's Butler missing.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
Chicago's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Dishes it to Howard. Some solid defense from Johnson.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Now, here's Redick. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Pistons in Detroit.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he fixed the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points.
Butler, that one's all good. Now he's 3 for 5 from the field. There's a minute 34 left now here in the second. Now Paul. He had 16 points in the win against the Pistons in Detroit.
Yeah, but I also thought the rebounding was impressive. He got some huge boards in that game.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Howard misses.
The spin freed him up, but he just couldn't follow through with the shot.
Paul kicks to Redick. Puts up a 3. The rebound by Gibson. And for the Bulls, they're shooting 38% in the second quarter. Offensively, they look a little bit confused. Here's Rose. Plays it up and banks it in. Rose has got the lead up to 2 now for the Bulls.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of them.
Picked by Griffin. Redick inside the line. And the Clippers miss again.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
It's almost as if there's a lid on the hoop for him right now. He still hasn't gotten one to fall in the quarter.
Down low. Here's Griffin. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
A delicious dime from Chris Paul there.
Paul against Rose. Howard with a screen on Paul. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter. Welcome. Going with the new group. The Clippers also changing it up. Vasquez comes in for Johnson. And it's Isaiah Cannon in for Paul. Howard in at shooting guard. Mirotic out there with Taj Gibson. Then there's Tony Snell. And it's Sloan in at the point guard position. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. To the paint, here's Jordan, and the powerful one-handed slam.
Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that one.
Doesn't he make the basics look pretty exceptional?
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does them.
And he better stay with those basics because this game is still yet to be determined.
Gibson the screen. Here's Sloan. Passes it to Gibson. Boom, he jams it straight down.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
Count that one. The Bulls' lead has been cut down to just 1 on the bucket from Vasquez.
Oh, how about the floater there? Nice drop.
1:30 left in the third. And Sloan kicks to Howard. And Mirotic has it in the corner. Let's go. Rebound by the Clippers. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
And guys, they could have won that game on the strength of their offense alone. It was that good.
And most impressive when you do it on the road like that. They just kept coming at him wave after wave, and they really kept the crowd on mute in that one.
Joakim Noah's checked in for Tony Snell. And Los Angeles making a change here as well. Johnson's checked in. And now here comes Vasquez leading the break. Good. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Clippers.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
They have, but you also can't overlook how well they defended the rim, as they've challenged every shot and also gotten quite a few blocks as well.
Sloan. That's short off the rim.
You know what? You just cannot get much better of a look than that one.
Exactly. I mean, no way you expect him to miss that shot.
Cannon, that's a two-pointer. Can't hit, so the Bulls will take it the other way. This, their first look at this year's Los Angeles squad.
And you have to love it when there's a matchup like this. Two teams that are at the top of their respective conferences going at it.
Well, you know, they split their meetings last season, and the way both of these teams love to compete, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened again.
Kicks it to Griffin. Noah with the block. But they get it back. Crawford outside. Second chance shot. And it comes off the front of the rim. Howard. Noah. We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Mirotic is checked in for Gasol. Tony Snell comes in for Dunleavy. Howard's checked in for Jimmy Butler. And Donald Sloan subbed in for Derrick Rose. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Paul and Crawford pair up at the 1 and 2. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan. And it's Johnson in at the 3 slot. Clark, one thing we've seen from these guys is excellent ball movement.
And you love to see that, Kevin. I mean, I love watching unselfish play, and I know Greg enjoys that too.
No doubt about it. It's fun to watch the way they're operating as a team right now. They are all in sync.
Snell dishes to Howard. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. 6 to shoot. Mirotic has a wide open look. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
The entire defense was frozen-footed. Nobody picked up the shooter, Kevin.
So the Clippers winning this one easily. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, Clark Kellogg, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now we send you to the award-winning Ernie Johnson, who's standing by in our studio.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Chris Paul. The fourth quarter was all him. It was like he couldn't miss, and it was just...
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. Excited, thrilled to be here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm so lucky. In this game, we'll see the Chicago Bulls against the San Antonio Spurs. Well, for San Antonio, this is their first time facing off this season. Last year, they split the season series at a game apiece. Tonight, the fans getting a chance to enjoy watching Tony Parker, who came into the league as a speedster point guard, but now as a veteran, Kenny, he's evolved into just one of the best team leaders on the floor.
Unbelievable that he still has the same amount of speed at his age.
We have an interconference affair lined up for you today as the San Antonio Spurs come in for this one. We've got an action-packed Saturday night of NBA action for you. Thanks for joining us. This is coming up. Almost entirely new group here. Taj Gibson's checked in for Noah. Mirotic comes in for Pau Gasol. Tony Snell's checked in for Mike Dunleavy. And Freak subbed in for Derrick Rose. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Duncan. West comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Green, he's checked in for Manu Ginobili. And it's Mills in for Parker. On the court for San Antonio. Mills out there with Green. Then it's Otto Porter Jr. Then there's West. And it's Aldrich in at the 5, roaming the paint. Picked by West. Here's Mills. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Can't capitalize on the good pick.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds. And they look strong here in the early going.
How about the screen that frees him up, though, for the jumper?
West outside. Dishes to Porter. Now here's Mills. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Clock at 6. Here's Aldrich. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him.
And both teams on fire from the opening tip.
Well, I don't doubt it, Greg. We're going to have an entertaining game of basketball here today. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that's the case.
And the foul called on Freak. That is his first foul of the game.
Oh, great defense there. Anticipated the play and got there first.
And not afraid to put his body on the line either, Greg. He took a shot for the team in that situation.
And the Bulls making a change here. Sloan's checked in. Boris Diaz checked in for San Antonio. West against Mirotic. Puts it up from 15. No luck. And it's Chicago the other way. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
And you don't have to go too deep into the box score to figure out why they lost that one. They just had an inability on that day to make shots.
You know, sometimes we talk about a defense getting into the heads of the opposing players, Greg, but that night they got up in their own heads. Just got in their own way and couldn't get out of it.
The offensive rebound.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Snell, that's good.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
It's Porter outside. Chicago grabs the miss. And this game, the first chance they've had to see the San Antonio Spurs.
It's not often we get to see this matchup, but it is a doozy when we do. Just two powerhouse teams facing off.
Really easy to tell that this is an important game, Greg. I mean, I don't know if the crowd will get a chance to take a breath in this one.
And so Snell nails both of them. And a chance to hear from Tony Parker, who said he lives for the challenge of continuing to improve.
I always try to improve and get better and pop.
And in Tony Parker's case, great is what he wanted to be and has been for a long time.
You know, that's great because that shows pops and why he's one of the best in the game. You got to be able to drive and motivate and also give the confidence. And that's what's happened with Tony Parker. Remember when he first came on the scene, it was not a cakewalk for him. He had his struggles, and now we're talking about a guy who's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And taking a look at Chicago's performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
How good has the ball movement been here? Just absolutely terrific.
Boy, that kind of timely passing, Greg, really fun to watch.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So for Chicago right now, at small and power forward, it's Dunleavy and Gasol. Rose is out there with Freak, and it's Noah in at the 5 spot. Aldridge, it's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
How about the purpose with which he's crashing the backboards right now? Some hard-earned second chance point.
Parker against Rose. A wide open look for Gasol. San Antonio with the rebound. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
Yeah, their defense got sliced and diced in that game. They just weren't closing down on perimeter shooters, not nearly quick enough, and then they gave up their fair share of those point-blank shots on the interior as well.
Something was clearly amiss for them, Greg. I mean, to let an opponent shoot that high a percentage, you got to take a real long look in the mirror after a game like that.
Duncan kicks to Parker. That's good, and so Duncan with the assist. And that's now 7 points for Tony Parker.
Tim Duncan, even in his advanced years, showing you that great vision and still getting it done. Nice pass.
Gasol against Aldridge. Pass to Howard. Puts up a three, and the shot is good. Howard's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three.
Tit for tat right there, huh, guys?
Didn't take him long at all, fellas, to get those 3 points back.
They can't guard us on the perimeter. Let's spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing, fellas. Spacing.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
I was able to listen in.
And the first half comes to a close.
Well, Tim, and looking...
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball.
What a game for Tony Parker. He's got 14 points.
Howard's checked in for Chicago. Bulls have gone 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. On the floor for San Antonio, the timeless Parker and Manu are the 1 and the 2. Porter is out there with Duncan, and it's Aldridge in at the center position. Ginobili against Howard. Three-pointer. The Spurs rebound. Ginobili outside. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Duncan gets a wide-open look. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Howard kicks to Rose. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Let's take this opportunity to show you the teams that have been the best three-point shooting squads over the last 10 games. Number 1, the Bulls.
They've been really pleased, Kevin, with their three-point game. It's working better for them thanks to some adjustments they've made in their transition game.
Green, he's checked in for Otto Porter Jr. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Ginobili with the ball. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Aldridge drives in, and it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got 3 assists now in this one. Outside Butler. The feed now to Gasol. The shot from the low post is good. Gasol's got 4 points this quarter.
I can't believe defenders are not aware. They cannot allow him that position.
Yeah, you're right about that, Greg. He's put a no trespassing allowed on that spot of the floor. It's all his.
Duncan with the screen for Parker. He feeds it to Duncan. And he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
Howard, that's good.
Boy, what a half from the field they're having. They're going to extend that lead if they stay this high.
Yeah, they've taken it up a notch, Clark, looking very confident right now.
Aldridge sets up the pick now for Parker. Passes to Duncan. Noah with the block. It's Howard with the drive. Butler. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Now it's a 5-point Chicago lead. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Chicago.
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shots.
Yeah, but also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
Here's Rose, and he banks in the layup. Rose has got 10.
Now, they've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
And that's why they're on this run. You get that close to the hoop, and it's a lot easier to make shots.
That's good. And so Howard with the assist. Howard's got assist number 5 here tonight.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
And, Greg, you know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
Howard against Ginobili. 6 on the shot clock. And the basket good. And that's 12 points for Aldridge.
No doubt about it. Marcus Aldridge has the hot hand.
Howard with a screen on Parker. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
And a moment here to see the numbers on Derrick Rose. His last 10 games, he's putting up about 14 points a night, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And for any other player putting up those numbers, we'd say they were great, but for him, they're just simply run-of-the-mill.
Sure, you know, most guys would be satisfied with that stat line, but he's built for more.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Taj Gibson's checked in for Noah. Mirotic comes in for Pau Gasol. Dunleavy's checked in for Butler. And Donald Sloan's subbed in for Rose. Dunleavy the pass to Gibson. Another one falls for Chicago.
I like the recognition of the mismatch there, immediately making the defense pay.
Green against Howard. Now here's Green. He's covered closely. The 3 from Mills. And the shot is good. Mills has got 5 now.
Man, they came out smoking here from beyond.
And, Greg, as hot as they are from out there, absolutely no reason at all not to just keep letting them fly.
And that does it for the third quarter. Both teams clicking offensively as we approach the fourth quarter. Bulls lead by 6. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sport. And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. The Bulls leading by 6. Howard in at shooting guard. Mirotic is out there with Dunleavy. Then it's Donald Sloan. And it's Gibson in at the 5 down low. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
That's his first personal foul. Taj Gibson at the line for the Bulls. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. And the Bulls making a change here. And so the big win by Chicago in a tight game. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
Tremendous work all the way down to the wire. We were just wondering what would happen next. Major drama, and we saw good.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Gentlemen, I'm here with Pau Gasol. And Pau, what's the mentality that you bring into a game to allow you to be at your most effective rhythm?
Oh, I just got to come out really aggressive, just trying to pound the boards, just forget about the shots that I can miss, or if I don't get a certain amount of touches, I just got to be aggressive and I got to get in the paint. So
the 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now let's move on to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Pau Gasol.
This play tonight, Ernie, was finally a bright spot for them because, you know, they had a...
And, folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.